Ay, 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 mama.
Hey everyone, this is Wick again, and welcome back to my channel, American Long Haul, where I share trucking tips, tricks, and some real experiences from the road. Today, I'm taking you with me on a delivery run in Naples, Florida. I'll show you how I handled a tricky unload without a forklift. I'll talk a little about what it's like running loads in Florida, and I'll also be sharing my experience dealing with a canceled backhaul because of the unloading took way longer than I had expected. It wasn't my smoothest day, but it's one of those times that reminds you what trucking is really like. So let's get into it. When I was nearing my delivery location, I had the feeling that it was going to be tight. I had earlier checked it on satellite view, but I couldn't find any docks. So I called the receiver, but he confirmed that they do get deliveries with 53-feet trailers. I pulled into the delivery spot early in the morning. Right away, I could tell it was going to be tight. Florida's got some of these smaller roads, tighter driveways, and some delivery spots that weren't built with a semi-truck in mind. Mind you, I'm bringing a full load of furniture, and when I back into the dock area, well, actually that wasn't really a dock. It was basically a small lot with barely enough room to maneuver. So I had to back up from the small street, but that was not hard. It was easy money. I get parked, hop out, and ask where the forklift is and who is going to unload me. And that's when I found out that they don't have any forklift or pallet jack. Nothing. I asked them how are they going to unload me and do they often load 53-feet trailers. They said yeah, but not all the way full. So now instead of a quick unload, I'm watching three guys, God bless their hearts, started unloading this furniture piece by piece by hand. So it's gonna take some time.
Ay, 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 mama.
And here's the thing, you just can't rush that. You just have to sit back, stay patient, and let them do their thing. Like I always say, trucking teaches you patience in ways that you never expect. Sometimes you think you're set for a 30-40 minute drop, and then when you get there, you realize it's going to be 2, maybe 3 hours, or sometime more. It's all part of the job. So there I am, waiting, making sure the load is protected as they unload, and just thinking, this is why you've got to stay flexible out here. And I'm also worrying about my next load. Now, whenever you run into an unload without equipment, a few things can save you big time. First off, always carry some extra straps, blankets, or anything to protect the freight. I had that. I asked them if they needed it, but those guys told me that they will just do it with the hand and they would use one of their wood sheets as the ramp. Because in my mind, I was thinking that whenever you unload by hand, things can bump, scrape, or shift a little more than usual. So having the extra protection makes a lot of difference. Second, just plan for longer unload times, even if the receiver promises that it'll be quick. Third, and very important, is communication, because this one is huge. Be respectful to the people who are unloading you. At the end of the day, they don't have to help you. If you treat them well, they'll usually work more harder. I've learned over the years that if you show other people respect, you'll almost always get some respect back. Let's talk about trucking in Florida for a second. First off, Florida is a very beautiful state to drive. You see palm trees, beaches, sunshine. It looks great. But trucking here has its own challenges. Some of the roads are smaller, delivery spots are tighter, and with tourism being such a big part of the economy here, you've always got traffic to deal with. If not tourists driving 10 miles under the speed limit, it's thunderstorms that roll in out of nowhere and dump buckets of rain on you. So you always gotta be ready. On top of that, Florida freight is little one-way heavy. Loads coming in are really easy to find and you get good money. The problem is getting out with a decent rate. And this day was a perfect example. I had a load lined up to get me out of Florida, but because of the delay at the delivery, no forklift, longer unloading time, I had to cancel my backhaul because I did not want it to ruin some other broker's load. So I had to update my next broker of the situation. There are also some brokers that you need to be aware of. Maybe I'll touch that on my upcoming videos, what they do to fraud you and how to see a bad broker from a mile away. So here's where the day went sideways. My plan was very simple. Drop the load, grab my backhaul, and head out. But since the unloading took hours longer than expected, by the time I was empty, it was already afternoon and it was hard to find the load. Now, if you've been in trucking any amount of time, you know this happens sometimes. It's nobody's fault, it's just the reality of running on a schedule. So now I'm stuck, no load, late in the day, and I'm not finding anything decent heading out of Florida. So then I headed back towards the Love's truck stop in Fort Myers, where I couldn't find any parking last night, but it was still some time for me to find some parking, and I was lucky to fill up my fuel and find a parking spot at the Love's. When something like this happens to you, you've got a couple of options. Number one, you can deadhead and hope to grab something further down the road. Number two, you can burn your hours on looking at the load boards, calling the brokers, and checking every possible lane. Or you can just wait it out and try to grab something good on the next day. In this case, I had to wait until the next day. It wasn't ideal, but sometimes that's trucking. You've got to balance patience with profit. Because sure, you could take a cheap load just to move, but in long run, it doesn't always make sense. One thing I always tell new drivers or new owner operators, that this business isn't just about driving the truck. It's about planning, patience, and knowing when to move and when to sit still. This day reminded me again that sometimes you eat the cost of living. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if you plan ahead, don't panic, you will make it work. So today's run reminded me of 3 things. Be flexible, be patient, and be ready for anything. That's the life of an American long hauler. Not every day goes the way you want it to be. Some days are smooth sailing and the others throw you curveballs, like today, no forklift and a canceled backhaul. But that's what makes this job interesting. You have got to adapt to the situation that you have on your hand. If you found this video helpful in any way, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment if you've ever dealt with a tough load or lost a backhaul. I love to hear your stories. Thanks for riding along with me. Until next time, this is American Long Haul, 1 mile at a time. God bless you guys. Peace out.